when a Sahaba told the Prophet, he was silent. Now based on this hadith, some of the scholars say, because the Prophet was silent, that means he gave permission. Other group of scholars say, because silent, he didn't give permission. Anyway, no one says that coitus interruptus is prohibited. Recently, in the Times of India, there was an article that if coitus interruptus is done properly, that is breaking the act of the sexual intercourse, before the ejaculation comes out, if you stop and let the ejaculation go out of the body rather than into the body of the wife, it's called as coitus interruptus. The research says the difference between the failure rate of a condom is 18% and failure rate of coitus interruptus is 17%. What are the reasons you want to do coitus interruptus or a thing? It is not consisting of AIDS. AIDS is not a different concept. We'll come to it later on. As far as family planning is concerned, to prevent a conception. The failure rate, what we realize, why the failure rate of condom is about 18%. Why? There may be a leak in the condom, but not that 18% of the condom are leakage. No. The leakage may be 1%, 2%, I haven't done a survey, but it is very little. But maybe the condom is not put properly, or maybe that when the condom is worn, but it remains in the body of the wife and then the whole thing is useless. So various things can take place, so the failure rate goes to 18%. In coitus interruptus, if done properly, the failure rate is 17%. So if coitus interruptus is done, taking the safe periods into consideration, that immediately after the menstrual cycle, the first few days are safe, and immediately after the cycle starts, 13, 14, 15 days, there's a rate into conception, the more chances. I mean, you can give a medical lecture on this also, time doesn't permit me. I don't know where to go more in detail. Every question again, half an hour. So based on this, why you want to do is important. But the research is changed. Some research said, no, we don't agree with it. So these are researches. Fine? So as far as coitus interruptus is concerned, no scholar says it's haram. But as far as condom is concerned, there are scholars who differ. Coming back to basic question, why do you want to do family planning? If you are wearing a condom to prevent sexually transmitted diseases, that is only something haram. That only comes when you do with those who are not a life partners, right? If you keep on changing partners, then you may require that to prevent AIDS, prevent STD. I'm sure a question is not based on that. It's not based on that, right? It's with the wife only, no? So then fine. So here the question of wearing a condom for sexually transmitted disease doesn't arise here in your question. But in that question, sexually transmitted diseases will come in coitus interruptus if there is a problem, if the woman has multiple sexual partners. So therefore there is a statement that, that to prevent AIDS, condomize yourself, which is haram. I mean, haram means you don't have only this illicit sex. So to say that don't do adultery to prevent AIDS, they say condomize yourself to prevent AIDS. Anyway, that's another question. Coming back to basic question, that why do you want to do family planning? Now basically you can categorize all your reasons in two broad categories. One may be is because you are poor, you may not be able to look after many children. And the second reason may be, no, I want to have spacing between my children, I want to make them doctors and engineers. So, ek ke baad abhi nahi, do ke baad kabhi nahi, I'll have some spacing, 5 years gap, 3 years gap. So basically whatever reasons you have can be categorized into two broad categories. One is because you're poor, and second is you may be rich, but you want to make them doctors and engineers. Now as far as the first reason is concerned, if you're poor, Quran has a solution for that. If a person is poor, the Quran has a solution of zakat. That every rich person who has a saving of more than the nisab level, more than 85 grams of gold, he should give or she should give 2.5% of their excess wealth in charity. If every rich human being gives zakat, poverty will eradicate from this world. No one would have hunger. So the question of family planning won't arise because you're poor. If you really fall below the poverty level, if you're fuqara, you can surely take zakat. And it's not harm to take zakat, that's your right. So coming to the next reason, that I want to make my son a doctor, I want to make an engineer. So if I have one child, I have to give a spacing of 2-3 years and then I can concentrate on the education, etc. It's a fallacy and a misconception that if you have less children, you can give them good quality education. If you see the list of Nobel Prize winners, it's not that they have only been the first child. They may have been second, third, they may be multiple children. So it's a fallacy. And those who have multiple children, you may realize that the fourth or fifth child also may be intelligent. And coming to the question of family planning, if my parents were done family planning, I would have been in front of you today. Because I'm the fifth child of my parents. Fine, I'm here a boon or bane for society, you can judge that. I'm the fifth child of my parents. If my parents were done family planning, I would have been in front of you today. So what you realize that it is a misconception. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a natural method of family planning that's known as lactation amenorrhea. The moment you give birth to a child, if the mother breastfeeds the child, automatically there is no menstrual cycle. Automatically there is a period of spacing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does it. And the verse of the Quran which I quoted to you of Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 151 and Surah Isra chapter 17 verse 31. The meaning on the face of it is the same. The first verse Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 151 says that kill not your children for want of sustenance, for it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who will give sustenance to you and your children. For killing of children is a sin. Surah Isra chapter 17 verse 31 says, kill not your children for want of sustenance, for it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who will give sustenance to your children and you. The order is reversed. The first verse says, you and your children. The next verse says,